Welcome to the Magic on the Inside podcast by the Sisters Enchanted, where we chat magic, hot topics, personal development, and good old-fashioned life. Brew up something delicious and sit with us for a spell.
Welcome to this episode of the Magic on the Inside podcast. I'm Sarah, founder of the Sisters Enchanted.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anna, co-founder of the Sisters Enchanted.
Hey, Anna doesn't actually talk like that. I don't know what just happened there. I think she lost herself for a second.
How do I really talk?
Like that, where you just overcome with something?
Yeah, always these introductions, because you just make it sound so easy, breezy, beautiful, cover girl. And I don't know what to say. I'm always like, hi. Hiya, folks. It's Anna. What's that?
Welcome to the circus.
Well, yeah.
It's like when you walk in my house. Okay. Today, on today's episode of The Magic on the Inside, we are talking about herbs and your personal energy. First question, do you say herbs or herbs? Herbs.
But I feel like during this podcast, we're going to say herbs.
You know, but people say herbs.
Herbs.
It's like how our New York friends call tarot tarot. And it gets me every time.
My tarot cards.
And then people who call tarot the tarot. Herbs, tomato, tarot.
Columns.
Anna's husband says clothes. This is his mom, which is accurate. Like that's how you say it. But I just say clothes. Like you're like close the door, but that's also close. Like I obviously don't say it right.
She also gets me, and this is funny. And hi, Ellen, if you're listening, because sometimes she does.
Hello, Ellen.
She wears a scarf. She calls it a pashmina, which I'm sure is actually a pashmina. Yeah. But it's just really funny when she's like, I left my pashmina at your house. And I'm like, pashmina.
I call those a wrap. I'll say my kid.
Scarf.
My kid has one that's hot pink. I'll be like, Scarlett, where's your wrap? Supposed to pashmina. I Googled the word pashmina the other day.
There's an Animal Crossing character named Pashmina.
All right, this has gone too far.
It's like
herbs and your personal
sisterly goat
energy.
who's not nice to you when you speak to her.
You like how you mentioned Animal Crossing and I cut you right off?
Yeah, like, at the sisterly goat.
I was like, this is done with. This is no more banter for us. I have the game Animal Crossing. I apologize if I'm clearing my throat. I know that must not sound good on the audio. We're recording these and I'm coming off of the world's longest head cold or something, like sinus infection, perchance, I'm not sure. And I just can't stop clearing my throat. So I need to do it right now.
Hold this card for you.
And
you're welcome.
Okay. All right. I just did it. And now I'm done. So herbs and your personal energy. We're talking about herbs a little bit today because we were discussing this recently in one of our holistic witchery classes about learning about herbs and crystals. And the way that we do it here at the Sisters Enchanted is through our magical practice. So, and just our life in general. You know, if we're having a certain feeling, if we are wanting to work with a specific zodiac sign or a lunar cycle, we will learn about herbs and crystals that are associated with the thing that we're working on. And then do the reflection of understanding how that impacts us. Because the thing about herbs and crystals is that the energetics of those don't interact with everybody the same way. So when you're learning, my example in holistic witchery was with like rose quartz, for example. So a person working on their own self-love or something, right? Well, a person who maybe has like their self-love is really ego-centered and maybe there's something, maybe it's like masking as self-love, but it's actually something that's causing a problem in other relationships or at work or something. That person might not want some rose quartz for more self-love. Maybe they need something to tame down. I mean, rose quartz could do that also. It's really about what you're doing. And tea is the same. Some herbs that are for like lighting a fire in one person might really tame another person down. So,
or ones that are meant to help you sleep might like amp somebody up or cause them to be anxious. Yeah.
So it's super, when we talk about learning herbs and we talk about learning about crystals, we really do it just through integration in our life as opposed to trying to learn like, oh, I'm going to learn all these different crystals, or I'm going to learn all these different herbs. It's like, well, what am I experiencing? And let's experiment with that and then come to my own conclusions. And so based on that discussion, and we do have like lots of herb associations throughout our programs that we offer here. But one of our favorite herbal schools, the Herbal Academy, also has their back to school sale starting on the 23rd of August. So that is like a week and a half from now, from the time you're listening to this, but you'll want to keep your eyes out for it because, and we'll link it up for sure too, but they discount all their courses. So if you're interested in learning about herbs, definitely check it out. And then of course, like we talk about that idea of using them in magic and personal life in Holistic Witchery and our Enchanted Journey programs. So herbs in your personal energy, some things that you want to look at, maybe Anna, you can touch on this, zodiac and herbal associations. And so this is just like, you don't need to go through all of them, but maybe like the kinds of things you look for fire signs, water signs.
Sure. Well, this reminds me of, and you can rein me back if it's needed, that when I learned astrology. Do you want to know which one I got? Sorry. All right. When I learned astrology, I learned it from a woman who was versed in Vedic astrology. And not only was she a Vedic astrologer, but she was an Ayurvedic practitioner. And for quite some time, I also helped out in her shop, making skincare and oils and teas.
I keep telling everybody that Anna needs to make us an herbal class. I don't know what the holdup is.
And nasias, like nose oils.
I was just thinking some nasias.
And I also learned how to do Ayurvedic facial massage and things like that. So I was like really submerged in this whole astrology, medicinal, all sorts of things. And I was also at the time learning how to become a supplement specialist and the health and beauty expert at a local natural foods chain, small family owned and all these things. So I was really submerged in this. And so you can look up all the zodiac signs and there's going to be herbs for each one. There's going to be associations for each one. But for me, I really go back to that idea of like treats like. So if you're somebody with like earth signs and you have like a lot of earth in your chart, you might want to get like really earthy centered herbs. I mean, I know all herbs are kind of earthy centered because of the fact they're of the earth, but I mean like things that are like grounding, deeply grounding or like rooted.
Or like a root. Yeah.
Deeply rooted.
Mm-hmm. Something where what you're using or consuming is actually the root.
Right. So you treat like with like, and the same thing with like fire, you treat fire with fire.
Like cinnamon.
Right. Exactly.
Stinging nettles.
Exactly. Yeah. And then water, you treat water with water, and things like that. So I'm very much of the Ayurvedic mind in that sense that you would treat like with like, although I do think that there is a time and a space that if you're feeling, like over grounded, like too grounded, you have like too much, of something that like maybe you need to, like if you have too much ground, like maybe you do need some cinnamon to light a fire underneath you. But I'm very much in the idea of like with like, or at least like balancing your, all of your elements into being something that's thriving, just like in Ayurveda, you want your doshas to thrive. If you're high in one of them, you want to balance them so they're all present. Mm-hmm. Which is a balancing act. So for me, it's like with like. I like that. Yeah. And which is funny though. Sorry, I'm interrupting. Which is funny though, because a lot of times you do the opposite. Like you are somebody, I'm just using earth because I'm very earthy, that a lot of times people with earth, they want to like light a fire and they might do a lot of like cinnamon or ginger or things like that. But I know when I do too much of those things, actually it upsets my stomach. So like ginger is supposed to be something that's soothing to your body. Like if you're having an upset stomach or something, sometimes for me, it almost becomes like acidic and like burns because I think it's not exactly what I need. Yeah. But if I have like a nice, I don't know, trying to think of something that I like to drink. I like all tea really, but I like if I have like a really nice like chamomile tea, something that's like very just mild and and nourishing, then I feel a lot better. And that's more likely to soothe an upset stomach for me than if I add something that's fiery. So for me, it's like treats like, and to nourish what you're strong in, and that will help to balance everything else out.
For me, I've got a lot of fire in my chart, but I also have a heavy dose of water. I'm a Cancer rising with no other planets or anything. But I'm a Cancer rising, which if you know astrology, your rising sign is like a big piece of your
water too.
And I've got a lot of Scorpio stuff happening. So I
likewise.
Yeah. So I've got a lot of water, but I've got this heavy Sagittarius also. And so for me, passion flower is one of those watery sort of. And specifically, if you go to our blog, thesistersenchanted.com/blog, there's a blog post that goes with what we're doing right now, this discussion. And there's a list of some suggestions for each of the zodiac signs. And passion flower is one of the Cancer ones. And so when I'm finding that fire I have is like boiling all my emotion, I have passion flower tincture, like it's here at our office, it's at my house, it's in our camper, like, because that's one of the things I use to kind of like get into that more nurturing rather than that rage fire or rage emotion. And then though, if I'm not feeling like myself, if I'm feeling really like my not normal fiery, like get up and go, excited idea, creative self, that journey energy of a Sagittarius, I will usually consume like some cinnamon, some more like spicy kind of fiery sort of herbs. And that helps me feel like myself. And then that passion flower is something that I use to kind of regulate my emotional state.
I will say too, which we probably should have said in the beginning, that, you know, herbs, like Sarah said, it's kind of to each your own. And to make sure you're doing your own research before you start taking one. So if you're a Sagittarius and you're like, I'm gonna buy me some passion flower because Sarah Walker said so, don't do that. Check and make sure that passion flower is right for you, and make sure you're buying it from a good, you know, source and all things like that.
The thing too about herbs, when we use them, or even crystals for an energetic purpose, it's like this similar to homeopathy in that you have to do it for a period of time.
Of course.
You know, like if you just start drinking chamomile tea thinking it's going to like do something for you, you got to drink it like the same amount every day for like 30 days before you see an impact. And it's the same with tinctures, teas, herbs, the energetics of crystals. It's like the building of the relationship there.
For sure. And I know, and you can kind of tell a lot of the difference between Sarah and I with what she's saying, because like passion flower is great, but I'm much more of like a holy basil lemon balm kind of like very like herbaceous. You know, I know that they're all, but you know what I mean? Like the very like herby kind of.
Well, you know, I have those at home too. And we use them. I have holy basil and a few different supplements, and then lemon balm.
Lemon balm is fantastic.
Yeah, lemon balm's great if you or anyone you live with has some like attention issues where you're just,
okay, you're blinking.
You struggle to focus. We have lemon balm. We buy it in bulk. Actually, balm for my kids, myself,
herbs, some balm, some herbal balms, and hibiscus tea.
Oh yeah,
I love me some iced hibiscus tea. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
If you got little ones, my kids, they get a blend of hibiscus, lemon balm, and linden tea.
Oh yeah, linden's really good too
to help with their.
So many things.
My kids have some different neurodivergence things going on. And just to try to kind of keep us all level during the day. Yeah. They love the taste of the hibiscus and then the lemon balm and the linden. And I'll buy it loose and mix it. And then if I'm like lazy mom status, we also have it in tea bags. And then I just put one linden tea bag, one lemon balm, and one hibiscus. And it goes in like a pitcher. And then I just fill it up and then they get their serving. But some things you might have around your house, not related to zodiac signs at all, that are also really great for working with your personal energy and herbs. Salt for different, just like self-protection and like cleansing. Like you could do a salt scrub or put it in your water. Like salt with like it, like sugar for a scrub also, but you can put salt in your bath water or just like put it on a little bit.
Epsom salt.
Epsom salts. Pepper, that's fiery. That's amplifying abundance. Also like a repelling, similar to salt in that way, where salt's like kind of protective, but the black color of pepper and magical associations, time, positive attitude, strength, courage. Again, these are all on their blog. Also, rosemary as an amplifier or cleansing. Basil is very cleansing, calming. Honey is positivity, abundance, also making things stick in magical practices. So honey is not, it's like a herb addition there. Oregano, luck, happiness. I love to say that folks who make their own pasta sauce must be so freaking abundant with all the like basil, the oregano, the pepper.
Am I abundant?
I don't know. I don't make pepper. I mean, I don't make pepper. I don't make pasta. I don't make anything. But anyway, lemon, purifying, cinnamon, that's that amplifying fire, sugar, sweetness. So you, even if you're not a person, like I'm not one who's going to be growing a bunch of stuff. So I buy my herbs dried typically, or I wild forage them. And I like safely and within, like some things you need to leave behind. So always learn that too, but where it's appropriate. But there's so much you can do with just what you have on hand also.
Yeah. And it's do what's right for you. Like I know that I talked about kind of like that Ayurvedic tradition of treating like with like, and that really works for me, but also you do what works for you. So if I needed air, I would probably do something like sipping on a really grounding tea, but then I'd maybe go sit outside and do it to get some fresh air while I'm still like really rooting into what my strength is.
So herbs in your personal energy. It's
do it.
What is like, think about your energy. Where are you? What do you need more of? What do you need less of? And then start researching with books or resources or whatever, or in a program, if you take a class through the Herbal Academy, which we really recommend. Again, their sale starts the 23rd of August. So look out for our links for that. And learn herbs and use them for your personal energy. I got to tell you real quick, Anna pulled these cards for us from the Animal Allies Oracle deck. She bought it for me as a gift a few years ago. She pulled me the freaking rat and she pulled herself the skunk. What is this?
Misunderstood creatures who are actually delightful in
Anna
real life.
used to have pet rats when we were kids. They were
so glorious.
Hairless rats.
Oh, okay. Some of them were hairless. I had hairy ones too.
Right, those hairless ones
were the nicest. Beautiful creatures. Beautiful and intelligent and
Anna
delightful.
and I are not on the same page on this topic.
It was the hairy rat that liked to bite people.
I recall them smelling.
I don't recall that.
Rats.
I recall the ferrets.
And their long tails. Sorry, we had ferrets.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I had a smorgasbord of rodents.
Anna didn't, I don't even.
I had hamsters and rats and ferrets.
I remember I was away when Anna moved in. Okay, so our mom, she moved in with our now stepdad like the same week I graduated high school. So I graduated high school and I moved pretty much right away, like within the month with a friend to our apartment that we lived in when I was in school. And so that my freshman year of college, I did not live in that house. And Anna did live there. She was still in high school and was the youngest sibling. And I would come home and there's just the animals would friggin' multiply. It's like there's another like rodent creature in this house in a cage making noise. Like what is going on here?
I remember my ferrets would run around while I did schoolwork and they would like jump into my water cups and stuff and cause a ruckus.
I remember like I'd open that door to the room they were in and just be like, WTF. And then
ferrets do smell.
Like do my laundry and just go about my business. Like that wasn't happening.
The rats were my beloveds.
I know.
My beloved babes.
I just remember their tails and being like,
they would sit on my shoulders.
That tail is too much for me.
I'd watch movies and they'd sit and hang out. But the rats and the skunks, I see you. And I believe in you.
I'm a rat. You're a skunk.
And you're beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So
the rats and skunk believers out there unite.
If you are not, if you're not registered for any of our tarot goodness here at the Sisters Enchanted, you can find a link for that right around here, right around the video or the audio that you're listening to. And then of course, like I said, keep your eye out for that herbalism sale coming up with the Herbal Academy. And you can find our notes and a recipe for a tea and also the associations we are telling you about over on our blog, thesistersenchanted.com/blog. All right, everyone. Until next time.
We hope you
have an enchanted
rest of your day
ahead.